Don't be afraid to start again. Don't be afraid to say this thing is not working out. Don't be afraid to say this is not the right path. I'm going to go back from the beginning and take it all over. Don't be afraid to look at yourself at the mirror and say, I am not doing what I want to do. I'm going to begin from zero. Hello, welcome. Today is just a different day. I'm just at work, as you can see stuff. I just got up this morning. I did my routine. I went to the gym and everything. You know what it's all about. And I decided to take this break and make this video. I was thinking about some things that happened in my life, and I had some moments in my life that I thought things were never going to change, and I was facing very difficult moments. Let me take the first story. In my old country of origin, we have a system. After you finish from secondary cycle, you need to prepare, for example, engineering for those who are going to do engineering. You need to prepare for medical exams for those who are going to do medical exams while waiting for your secondary cycle exams. I finished my secondary cycle. I was preparing for my medical exams. I was focused there, doing everything, waiting for my medical exam, for my secondary cycle exams, because I knew I had passed. But the result came out when I was already about in 2 months of preparation of my medical exams. I succeeded my secondary cycle, but I was not qualified for the medical exams. I had two options: go back to the secondary cycle and start everything from zero, doing all the subjects again, or going to the university to do any other choice like biochemistry or any other thing. But I knew the results I had from my secondary cycle were not the results I deserved. I knew I could do better. So I decided to abandon everything about the medical exams and to go back again in the secondary cycle. The first day I arrived school, teachers were like, what are you doing here? You pass, go to the university and do everything. But I don't know, but I decided to start over again. And now I'm happy today for that decision I made, because the decision brought me here. That is the first part. I started back everything I abandoned, and I had better results, and I was able to follow my dreams and other stuffs. The another story was, after I had my secondary cycle exams and good results, I wanted to travel abroad. I never wanted to do the medical exams again. I wanted to travel abroad to continue my studies, and I wanted to go to Belgium. I started the procedure to travel to Belgium, but I never had a visa. So I had in mind, like, let me travel to another country, and from there I'm going to arrive in Belgium. I traveled from my country to another country, and I arrived there. I made 7 months there. It was tough and very difficult. I decided to go back to my country and start everything from afresh. And today I am in Belgium doing what I wanted to do and making the videos I am making now. So you see, at times in life, we face circumstances that we think they are very difficult. But with my story, I get to understand, at times, let us just go back. Don't be afraid to look at yourself and say, this thing is not working out. I need to start again. Most of the people get stuck in life because they are afraid of going back. They are afraid of starting back. They are afraid of taking again the steps and going in from 1 step, 2 steps and everything. I can get that voice in you saying, what if I start over and my story is not same as yours? What if I start over and I don't make it? What if I start over and it's not same? But the question I just want to ask is, what if you don't start over? What if you don't start over? What if you start over and it works? What if you start over and you make it? What do you have to lose if you try? There is no harm in trying, but there is harm in regrets. It's better to try and fail than to have the regrets of not trying. Just start over. Just look at the things you're trying to do and it's not moving on. Maybe the solution is just to start over. Maybe you're not on the right track. Maybe you've not find what you want to do better. Maybe you've not seen what you're looking for right. But just look back and say, what am I going to do? Let me start over and see if the journey is better now. Most of the time we stay stuck with things because we think it's very hard to go back from the first step and to start from there. But at times that is a solution we have to take. At times there is no way out. At times we keep forcing things, knocking on doors. It's just like you're trying to open a door. You have two keys and you tried with the first key, it doesn't open the door. You try with the second key, it doesn't open the door. At times the solution is just to go and look for another key, but we stay there trying to force the keys. If the keys can't open the door, the keys can't open the door. There is no solution. You just need to look for another keys that are compatible with the door, or you look for another means of getting the lock. That is a solution. At times we stay stuck with an opportunity. We're saying, like, this thing, I have been praying for this thing. At times we have been praying for things that we want, but when the things come, they are not the way we wanted, and we stay stuck because we have been praying for that. At times you just need to rearouse, just as the GPS does. When you're trying to go, if you haven't watched that video, go and watch that video talking about the GPS mentality. At times you just need to rearouse like the GPS does. The GPS, when you're trying to go to a direction and you miss your direction, the GPS does not shout. The GPS does not stay stuck there. The GPS does something, just rearouse and takes another direction. At times that's what we need to do in life, but most of the time we stay stuck. We keep trying, we keep forcing, and we're saying this thing must work. I've been wishing for this thing must work. It's just like someone trying to play basketball and happens in life that he can't be a basketball player, or he has an accident with his hand. I don't wish you that. And he stays stuck and saying, I must play basketball. No, at times that thing can happen like that for you to play something else, maybe baseball, or let's say football, or maybe tennis, something else. But at times we stay stuck with the opportunity that we don't see what is around us. It's like a guy being in a relationship with a girl. You know it's not working out well. You know this relationship is not good for me. But because you've been there for years, you think that is going to work. Longevity does not mean productivity. If you've been there for long and it's not moving on, bro, the best thing at times is just to rearouse as the GPS does. Start over. Don't be afraid to say, yes, I've wasted this years. Yes, this thing is not going to work. Let me try something else. Let me quit this job and start something else. I'm not saying you should stop everything in your life, but I'm trying to make you think about the things you're doing now. Do you think you're going to succeed if you keep pushing? Or do you think if you start over, you're going to have another opportunity? At times we don't know until we try. At times the door is there, but we don't know what is behind the door. We must go through the door to see what is behind. At times starting over is a solution. At times going back from origin is a solution. So that was just part of my story, and I was just trying to make us think about it. Think about the things you've been stuck in life. If it's in a relationship, think about what is not working out. Think about what you can do. Think about how you can get out of it. But at times, the best solution is just to go back from origin. I can say the day when I decided to leave from that country back to my country, it wasn't easy, and it's not going to be easy because so many friends laughed at me. So many people said you're stupid, you're this and everything. Many people laughed at me in my town home, but I knew what I wanted in life and I knew it was not moving on well. So I had to come back and start. And I'm happy today looking at where I am and the things I'm doing. I succeeded to get in the country I wanted after so many difficulties. And in the country again, I had so many other difficulties. And I know difficulties are going to come again. Because you start back, it doesn't mean everything is going to be perfect. And you need to know that because you start back, it doesn't mean everything is going to be perfect. But at least it gives you another direction that will be moving closer to things you want in life. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be good if you start back. If you think about what you want, if you're not getting the result you want to do, you want to have, just start back. Go over the life. Go over your time. Go from the origin. Take a time. Take a free time. Travel. I don't know, but take something. Take time and reflect on what you're doing. I have this thing I always say, spend 6 days and the 7th day used to reflect on the last 6 days. What did I try this week? What worked for me and what did not work for me? How can I amend this? Try to refresh on that. Most people just go through life, get up in the morning, do every routine, but they don't have time to refresh on that. So just think about it, bro. At times you just need to start back. At times you just need to come back and start back. Thank you for listening. And just check the other videos. Tell me what you think about the other video. I told you my goal for this summer is reaching 1,000 subscribers. I'm about 50 subscribers, so I count on you. If you like this journey and if you see it amazing, just subscribe. Turn on the notification button so you can see the new videos. I'm at work. I need to go to work. Like the video. Give me your comment. Tell me the things you've been stuck in and tell me what you're going to restart back. Thank you very much for watching the video. We are together. See you for the next video.